The fatal accident inquiry highlights the crew's brave rescue attempts. This is from the Shetland News dated May the 21st of 2024. The crew of a local fishing boat did all they could to try and recover a colleague as soon as possible from the sea after he fell overboard. The sheriff also paid tribute to the bravery of the skipper Andrew White after Edson Joseph Lacoste fell overboard off the Copious in February of 2021. A determination on Lacoste's fatal accident inquiry, the 45-year-old Filipino national died after falling into the water while carrying out repairs to fishing gear on the twin rigger Copious in the early hours of the 18th of February 2021. The inquiry urged that while trying to fit a shackle to a loose wire trailing behind the vessel, Lacoste must have climbed onto the bulwarks of the vessel, from where he lost his footing and fell into the 7-degree cold water, 30 miles southeast of Sumburgh. It previously heard that Lacoste had worn his personal flotation device, but, as it was common practice in the industry, without fastening the crotch strap of the device. But the inquiry had been told that the fisherman unlikely would have survived even if he had worn his PFD correctly. Efforts were made by the crew to recover Lacoste to safety, including Skipper White practically entering the water, but he became weaker and increasingly incapacitated. A Coast Guard helicopter later arrived on scene and recovered Lacoste from the water before heading to the hospital in Lerwick. But he was pronounced dead despite the effort of the medical staff. The cause of death was ruled as complications of immersion in seawater. The sheriff ruled that the owner of the Copious had generally complied with regulations in force at the time of the incident around the PFDs. He added, "The only realistic recommendation that I could have made as a result of the inquiry would have been to recommend that further efforts be made to ensure that PFDs were worn correctly in accordance with manufacturer's instructions." But the sheriff said that had already been addressed by the Maritime and Coast Guard agencies, and as such, no recommendations were made. He also noted that the crew of the Copious attempted Lacoste's recovery in difficult circumstances. The sheriff concluded he was an experienced fisherman, respected member of the crew of the Copious, and a well-loved husband and father who was dearly missed by his family and friends. I did a video on this before, and it has a little bit more information in it as to how this all unfolded. Basically, the guy was just doing his job, and he fell overboard. The crew tried everything they could to get him back on the boat, including the captain climbing down over the side of the vessel and grabbing him by the hand, and he just wasn't strong enough to get back on the boat. This is very, very sad. Another fishing accident, another fisherman lost to the sea. Unfortunately, it happened. He was wearing a life jacket, a PFD. He did not have the crotch strap fastened, and therefore he was riding low in the life jacket. His head was going under the water. As this report states, it probably would not have made a difference. This is still a very, very sad thing to have to deal with. Rest in peace to the fisherman who lost his life. Condolences to the family and to the crew that had to deal with this. Very, very sad indeed.